Hello, this is Manesh Patel from ichimokutrade.com. Today is August 19th, 2011. It's our weekly Ichimoku analysis for the currency Forex market, where we're going to cover everything from Euro USD to Pound USD to all the yen pairs and so forth. Normal disclaimer, this is for educational use only. If you decide to buy anything, you're doing that at your own risk. Today's charts are going to be included from Thinkorswim from TD Ameritrade, and the music is going to be from Kitaro. Here's my contact details here. You could contact us at info@EII Capital, or you could contact us at any of these phone numbers at any of the locations worldwide. You could also go to our website, ichimokutrade.com, access any of our free educational videos, access our email alerts, our heat map, and various other resources are there under the education tab. Okay, we got a lot to cover, so let's begin. We're going to start off with our heat map. Remember, the heat map, what we're doing is we're looking for basically dailies and weeklies to be the same color, and then once they're in the same color, what we're looking for is basically the daily to be a 2 or 4, which is here, the trend signal is here, and the weekly to be either 2, 4, or 5. Okay, and also you don't want the letters to be anything except black. You want them to be black. If they're a different color, that means they're overextended. Here, Australian CAD, they're both bearish, but this is basically overextended bearish on the daily, so we're going to walk away from that one. If you keep on scrolling down, here you got the CAD Switzy, but you got a 5. That basically means the trend's already started. It's not a new opportunity at all, and we'll look through that currency in just a minute. If you keep on going down, you really don't see Euro DKK. Trend's already started on the daily, so there's nothing really there, and the weekly really hasn't started an opportunity there. You got an opportunity here, but they're different colors. That basically means it's in counter trend mode right now. Here's an opportunity here, Pound Switzy, which we'll definitely look at in just a moment. And if you keep on scrolling down, you have New Zealand USD, Pound Switzy, and keep on scrolling, that's it. So Pound Switzy and New Zealand USD are two ones we'll definitely look at and spend some time on there because they look like they're setting up for both the daily and weekly, but we'll look at them in just a moment. Let's begin by going through a lot of the major currency pairs. Remember, on the left hand side is your daily charts, on the right hand side is basically your weekly charts. Okay, so let's begin and let's just start going through all the major currency pairs. First one's Australian CAD. Let's shrink this down. The weekly here is basically in the clouds, so there's nothing really going on at all. So is the daily, so there's no opportunity in this at all until it comes out of the cloud. If you look into resistance, you're basically looking at your resistance right about here, which is basically 447, and your support basically is going to be roughly around about, I would say about 200 or so. So you got about a 240 pip range on that one right now. Australian Switzy, you could see from both the daily and weekly, this has been trending for a while on both the daily and weekly. The daily is now starting to engage in a major pullback. It looks like it's going to try to at least get to 9970 for the major pullback, and at that point it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens. Major support is going to be at 9781, and major resistance is going to be right around roughly about up here, which is around 350 or so. Let's go and just keep on covering the major pairs today. Australian yen really here looks like it's trying to start a trend here on the daily time. Popped out a little and slowly moving up, but really hasn't moved that much. If you looked here on the daily time frame, really not going on, nothing going on at all. You could see it basically hit a resistance here. Which resistance is basically 83.61. Support's going to be basically 81.51 moving forward. But this thing is more bullish than bearish, so it really needs to pull back to probably 81.51, and at that point it has an opportunity to start going higher. Australia, New Zealand. Been watching this one. Reason why is if you look at the the weekly time frame, this thing's just consolidating right now. The top of range basically is here at 3055, and the bottom range is 2796, but really not doing anything except just ranging. That's about it. Australian Singapore, really not doing anything at all here. It kind of got to the top of its range, which is basically 3200. Basically the mid part of the range is going to be at about 2,900, and the minor support right now is going to be roughly around about 2,994. So we gotta wait to see what happens at those levels, but we are looking for this thing to kind of break out to the bullish side. It's just got to sit there and break at 3,200 without breaking 94.49. Sorry, 29.94, which is the major support moving forward. Australian USD, really nothing going on here. It's a bullish trend here. It's getting to a major support coming up right now, which is going to be around 394. It's going to be interesting exactly what happens there. Resistance is going to be basically at 511 moving forward. But this thing does need a pullback long term. Ideally, even though the support's coming up at 394. Ideally, we'd like this thing to pull back to about 290, anywhere around right around 290, and hold its ground there, and then start making a move right back up to 591. If it does, then it has a potential of starting a long-term trend where it can eventually even come back up here. But that's what we're looking for. But right now, it definitely needs a pullback before we could even consider looking at it even further. Canadian Switzy, this is still going up, moving up, moving up. Of course, one is going to be basically the major resistance value moving forward. 97.52 is going to be its major support. Canadian Hong Kong, this thing's moving up, 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 up. Major resistance is getting close to, which is 7.9 thousand. So that's going to be the major resistance. Support's going to be basically 7.7224. CAD Yen, a lot of people have been looking at this one. Let me clear all this junk that's right here. A lot of people are bullish in CAD Yen long term. I don't know why. Reason why your weekly still in the cloud, so there's nothing really there. This thing, ideally, major resistance is going to be roughly around 81. Once it gets there, it definitely needs to pull back. Major support is going to be 79.67. So we need to see it basically pull back roughly about 79.67 and see exactly what happens. If it can sit there, get to 81, then pull back, and then sit there, make a move and break 81, then we got an opportunity. But really, the momentum on this thing is just telling us that this thing's going to want to go sideways. And if you look at the big range that this thing has, it's got a big range. So even though it goes in the consolidation pattern on the weekly, it could look like a bullish trend here on the daily, which is definitely looking like right now. But this thing definitely needs to pull back right about now in order to move forward. Let's keep on going. I'm going to skip a lot of these Switzy pairs. They're kind of boring. We'll get to the pound Switzy and all that in just a minute. Euro Australia, if you could see, this basically is bullish trending here, has been bearish trending for a long time. It's at a major resistance level right now, which is basically 1820, about 1850. It's getting interesting to see what happens. If it breaks that one, the next resistance level is going to be roughly around about 2317. It's got a minor one at 2016, but that's a minor one, but the major one's 2317. If you're trying to bet on this bearish, I would definitely wouldn't. I'll stay away from this because it's been basically oversold for a very long time, and you really don't know exactly where it needs to go. Same thing here for the Australian CAD. You'll see this for a lot of the major Europe currencies. They've pretty much been oversold now to a point it's too late to get into any sell position or trend position going down, betting against the euro. But you can start looking at counter trend on some of these. This is not one. This does not even look like it's at a major resistance level right now. 2313 is going to be a major resistance level for it to get to, which is not even anywhere close to it. Euro Switzy, nothing really talking about since it's been pegged. Euro Pound, this one here you could see is still bearish trending to the downside here. Over here the daily is basically starting to get a little destroyed, which is good, and that gives you ability to start looking for counter trend opportunities. Major resistance here is 79.56, which is a major resistance, believe it or not, which it has to break, and then 77.50 is major support in this guy. Let's see, keep on going. Euro Mexican, we're going to like this one. This one here is bearish here. Major resistance is going to be basically 16.325, and major support basically at 1600 on this one. Euro Nook. Euro NUC is still bearish, trending on both the daily and weekly. It's very, very strong moving forward. Major major resistance going to be 37.16. Major support is way down here, roughly here about, let's just say 2,500. So that's going to be major support, but this basically needs a counter trend movement too. You could see that for a lot of these Europe currencies. Europe is basically being weak. It's at a point where you can't really go against the euro anymore because it's already gone down so much. Euro New Zealand, again, same thing on the weekly. On the daily, now it's actually broken its resistance level. It's gone above it. The next resistance level is going to be basically a minor one, which is right around 54, 51, and a major one is going to be around 59.67 moving forward. Let's see, Euro SEK. Really, both trending on both the daily and weekly, so there's nothing really going on this one. Major resistance is going to be basically 4097. Euro Singapore, really nothing going on this one. It has broken this resistance level to a point. Next resistance is going to be 5622. Euro USD, really nothing going on here. It's kind of at a minor resistance level right now. It's going to be interesting to see if it could hold this minor resistance level here. 24.73 is the minor resistance level. If it could break that, next level is going to be basically 27.75. Major support on this one right now is going to be 22.41. So we're kind of stuck between a range right now for that one. Euro Australia, Pound Australia. You can see here this thing's just ranging from here to roughly about here. That's going to be the major range right now, which is basically a huge range here. You can see it's basically been bearish trending here for a long time. It's broke its resistance level of 49.96, and it's actually trying to get to its next resistance level of 51.54. Was 51.54. Support basically is going to be 49.11 on this one moving forward. Same thing here for the pound CAD. Here you could see it's basically major resistance level, support level is going to be 54.62 on this one. Major resistance level is going to be basically 56.77. Okay. Minor resistance on this one, 55.39. If you could get that. Pound Switzy. Right here you could see it's trending here on the weekly time frame here. Really nothing going on here, just kind of consolidating, chopping, slowly going down, so there's no real opportunity there right now. And let's see, which one was this? This was a Pound Switzy right there, was basically a daily weekly, and you could see here, and the reason why is cross the green line, cross here. So it's trying to set up here. Really nothing here at right now, even though the signal's setting up for a strategy right now. Nothing really going on until it could sit there and break this resistance level of 53.70. And you can see this is already trending here. So you're looking at for it to break this resistance level here, start retesting this high, and that has a possibility to keep on going up. Okay. Pound yen, nothing really going on here. It's popped up above the cloud. However, 126.12 is going to be a major resistance level. 122.89 is going to be a major support level for this moving forward. Pound NOK, major resistance level bounced off was 37.67. Major support level is going to be basically around 22.20 on this one. Pound New Zealand. Here, really nothing going on. This thing's just ranging right here. There's the bottom of the range. That's the top of the range, basically, on the weekly time frame. That's a big range, too, right now. The daily looks really, really bad. Support's going to be basically at 93.06. Next resistance is basically going to be right around 99.25. Pound USD. Really nothing going on here. Resistance on this one's 57.83. Support's basically going to be around 55.85. New Zealand CAD. There's nothing going on. This is basically in the cloud on both the daily and weekly, so there's no opportunity there. New Zealand Switzy. Really nothing going on here, still trending on the weekly time frame. On daily, it looks like it's trying to undergauge a major pullback right now. Resistance on this one's going to be basically around 7,900. Support's going to be 77.78 moving forward. Let's keep on going down. New Zealand USD, really nothing going on right now. It's at a minor resistance level, which is at 64.50. Major support is going to be around 63.53 moving forward. And we're going to keep on going. New Zealand USD, really nothing going on here. Both the daily and weekly look really bad. Support's going to be basically 80.14, and resistance is going to be basically 81.62 moving forward on that one. And if we keep on scrolling down, let's go to US CAD. US CAD here has been basically bearish trending on the daily time frame. However, the weekly is telling us it needs basically a pullback. And if you look at it, it's at a major support right now. And there's a whole bunch of little supports on its way down, believe it or not. So we basically bounced off 98.58. We need a pullback basically to par at 1 if possible, and at that point it could sit there and start resuming. But this thing's basically just going in a consolidation pattern between these two ranges here, and really the bottom of this range, believe it or not, is the true range is right down here. So we kind of missed the bottom of the range right now, but we really may have not. It may have a little more downside here to get here, because there's a lot of minor support levels that are there. US Switzy, this is nothing going on here. We're kind of at a minor support level right now on the US Switzy. Major support level is going to be 94.53. Resistance is going to be basically 98.13 moving forward. USD Japan, really nothing going on. This thing's on a weekly time frame, it's just being in the cloud. Nothing really going on this one to a point it's worth looking at. I know a lot of people look at this one, invest in it, but I don't know why, because the charts just look ugly and there's nothing really there. US Mexico, really nothing going on right now. It looks like on a daily time frame it could break down here, just kind of consolidating here at this support level here. But really, believe it or not, the major support level is getting ready to come up, which is going to be roughly around 12.9500. So you're getting really close to coming to the major one, which is not too far away. US NOK right now looks like here it's trying to break down here. Major support on this is going to be 84.81, which is basically just a little below here. And major resistance on this one is going to be 99.82 moving forward. And then lastly, US Singapore, really nothing going on right now. It's consolidating. However, if this thing can sit there and, believe it or not, break this support level here at 23.64, this thing does have a potential of starting a major trend to go downwards. So we definitely need to look for that in about a month or two. Resistance on this one's going to be around 2700 moving forward. And I think that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us here at info@eiicapital.com, or you could visit our website at ichimokutrade.com. Thank you, and have a good week.